Power Rangers Unlimited, Edge of Darkness, issue number 1 by Boom Studios. It says issue number 1, but it's basically its own self-contained story. Because there was a Power Rangers Unlimited Heir to Darkness, also number 1, but there's no number 2. Basically, Power Rangers Unlimited is its own series, and each issue is its own self-contained prequel. Well, I don't know if I want to say self-contained. It's basically a setup for the main Power Rangers run, which I have not been reading. So I'm not sure how different this is compared to the TV series, because that's where all my knowledge comes from. I used to watch Power Rangers as a kid, and even as an adult, I watch some Power Rangers still. I haven't really watched the newer ones, but I have gone back and watched some of the older ones on Netflix and stuff like that, because I love the Tokusatsu series. Power Rangers, Sentai, Kamen Rider, Ultraman. Like, I love those kind of stories. And then, of course, as a kid, VR Troopers, Big Bad Beetleborgs, the Metal Hero series. So yeah, this is basically a prequel to the Power Rangers Boom Studios run, and this is Rita as a child. So we kind of see what happened to her and how she became the Rita that we all know. So it starts off with the Dark Spectre Power Ranger. He's on this planet, and he's talking to Zordon. He's like, I'm on the last planet, and Empyreal was sighted at. And then we cut back to 10,000 years ago, and we see Rita as a child with her mom, and they're being hunted down. So her mom tries to put up a fight. It doesn't really go all that well. But thankfully, the Dark Spectre shows up, and he kicks a bunch of ass. He stops these creatures before they can use Rita, because they're trying to use Rita as during a ritual. Basically, they want to use her blood, her essence, in a sense, to summon their god. But the Dark Spectre shows up, and he stops them, and he grabs the kid, and he tells the mom, like, we got to get out of here. We got to make a run for it. There's my ship. Make a run for it. I'm going to try to hold them off. The ship has been programmed already to take you to safety. All you got to do is get on there. So, yeah, we have a scene where she takes her kid towards the ship. Meanwhile, Dark Spectre stands back and tries to hold off these creatures. And it's basically, his final stand. He's holding them off, but he's being injured in the process. And eventually it's too much, and he's about to get killed when Rita's mom arrives and grabs him and takes him back to the ship, and they barely make it. In fact, I actually thought that Rita's mom was going to basically end up sacrificing herself, because her kid's on the ship. She pushes Dark Spectre on, and then as she's coming aboard, her leg gets grabbed, and I thought, oh, okay, so she's going to sacrifice herself for Dark Spectre. But no, she's able to kick him off, and they make it to safety. Dark Spectre is hurt. He's dying, and as Rita's mom is trying to help him, basically, like, the armor is powered by the grid energy. I have an idea. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to try it. And as she's trying to help him, Rita is telling the Dark Spectre a story, like a fairy tale. And the story gets to the Dark Spectre, and it kind of prevents him from seeing the light. And then he's still injured, but his chances raised up a little bit higher. And there's only one place where they can fully heal him, but that's diverting the mission. But she overrides the mission by using Dark Spectre's fingerprints through his gloves. I don't know how that makes any sense, but it does. And basically, yeah, they take the Dark Spectre to the Master Forge, and they basically use the power of the grid energy to heal him. And do I want to keep going? Basically, during that time, the Dark Spectre kind of gets into an argument with Rita's mom, like, I'm thankful for you saving me, but I'm expendable. Like, Rita's who we're supposed to be protecting, but Rita's mom doesn't really care because, well, she cares, but she can't do that because, like, hey, you gave your life to help us. Like, I gotta do whatever I can to make sure that you live. And of course, because of this, even though they were able to help the Dark Spectre, Rita's father and his minions show up. We all know what happens to Rita. It doesn't go well. Rita has the grid force, so they can't use Rita to summon their god, but they can still corrupt Rita and use her as a pawn. And yeah, basically things do not end well for Rita's mom. And the Dark Spectre is kind of like, well, I'm alive still, and I still got a mission to do. So he's going to try to locate Rita and stuff, but We all know that that doesn't go well, especially since 10,000 years have passed. But yeah. I mean, there's more details and stuff. I'm not really gonna go into it. So how was it? It was good. I liked it. I mean, Dark Specter's cool. He kind of reminds me of I don't know what he reminds me of. Kind of reminds me of Master Chief from Halo, both in the look and also just like some of the personality a bit. Like he's basically all about the mission, nothing else. Art style is good. Like I enjoyed the artwork. Coloring is good. Writing is good. There's really nothing I can complain all that much about this. I guess the only thing I can complain, though it's not really the writer's fault, is just that you kind of know what's gonna happen because it's like we all know what happens to Rita. So this is more of a how did it happen to Rita? Like we know what the end goal is gonna be for her. Like well, we all know where she ends up, but how did she get there? And this is basically that issue. So there's really nothing too surprising in a sense because like we already know what's gonna happen. We already know that the mission was basically gonna fail. We already know that Rita was gonna get captured. We already know that things weren't gonna end well for these people because we you know Rita is a villain. I don't know if she's still a villain in the comic series because obviously the comic series isn't following the TV series. But if you're okay with that, like if this is like, hey, I just want to see like what happened to Rita, like how did she become what she became? Well, here you go. This is how she became the Rita that we all know. It's kind of sad, especially when like we see some of the bonding between Rita and the Dark Specter and stuff, and then to know what happens. Not to mention just the fact that like, I mean, Rita's an innocent. She did nothing wrong. She's basically suffered tragedy and been hunted her whole life, and then we all know that it doesn't go well for her. And the fact that yeah, she loses her mom, her hero, and she becomes corrupted. That's kind of a shame. I don't know what else to say. If you're a Power Rangers fan, check it out. If you want to find out what happens to Rita, check it out. Obviously, if you're reading the Boom Power Rangers series, check it out because this kind of fills in some of the blanks. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I liked it. It was a good story, especially for someone who's not following the Power Rangers Boom Studios run. So this didn't make me feel lost or anything. Like this did a pretty good job of making sure that I kind of, unlike the Spawn universe that review that I did a while back, where like I haven't been reading Spawn at all, and like it was just I couldn't fully enjoy the issue because there were just pieces that like obviously I don't know without reading the series. But for that one was like they wanted you to read like 15 different issues just so you can get caught up on this one. This one did this is how you do storytelling for comics and things like that, where like especially for like a spin-off or I guess a prequel, whatever you want to call this, I don't have to read the actual main run to understand what's going on here. Like this does a good job of making sure that you know exactly what's happening, who Rita is, why they want Rita, who the Dark Specter is, who he's working for, what's going on. This kind of it kept me in the loop. So even though I've never read any of, well, I've read like the first 6 or so issues of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the volume 1 from Boom. I don't know what volume they're on now. Obviously, since it says See Power Rangers number 8 in the beginning here, I'm assuming they're on a second volume, maybe a third. But the Power Rangers run that came out a couple years ago, I read like the first 6 or 7 issues of that, and it was good. It's just my comic book store moved, and then another one opened up, and I just wasn't able to really transfer all my pull lists to that new one, and also because of COVID and stuff like that, taking a hit on jobs. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm a screenwriter, and Hollywood was really hit badly by COVID. So especially for me, who mostly works with like independent studios. So yeah, because of that, I had to not have as many series on my pull list as I would have liked. So Power Rangers didn't make the cut. But I'm kind of rambling on that. But basically what I'm trying to say is even though I haven't been reading any of the newer stuff other than the Unlimited, I'm all caught up. Like, I mean, I'm not all caught up. I know exactly what's going on in this. Like, this does a really good job of keeping you in the loop. So thumbs up to the writer, Frank Gogol. I hope I pronounced that right. But yeah, good job overall. This is a good issue. I liked it. 7.5 out of 10. Good story, good characters, good dialogue, good art, good coloring, illustrations. Everything's good. I liked it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. tell me what you think. And if you got any recommendations for comics, anything you want to see me review, just let me know. And if same thing for manga. Again, I say this all the time, but manga is just on the shelf for a while, just until MangaDex gets out of beta. Because right now, like I can go to MangaDex and I can see the comics that I have on my bookshelf or bookmarked or whatever. I can't see what chapter I left off on. And also, I don't know if it's just MangaDex side or if it's the translator side, the scanlations. But like if I go through my bookmarks and I read a chapter, like all the stuff on my bookmarks, like the last update was like 3-4 months ago, which was when MangaDex went down. And I know there were a bunch of translators who basically said that they were going to take a break and not upload any new chapters until MangaDex comes back up. So I don't know if that's the case, or I don't know if MangaDex is just not uploading any new stuff, but they just have like the stuff that they had updated before they went down onto this new site. Either way, yeah, I'm basically, long story short, I'm not going to be reviewing any manga or doing any spotlights for manga until MangaDex gets back up and rolling and out of beta and all that stuff is fixed. A lot of rambling. I gotta work on that. Anyways, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll just see you next time. Later. So what'd you guys think of that video? I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe, hit that bell for a notification, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't enjoy the video, thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next video is more to your liking. Feel free to check out the playlist that you guys see, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.